All right, friends, we're going to work on variables on both sides. So we've been solving some equations right now. My idea is I want to get all the x's on one side. So I like to keep things positive. I'm going to subtract 3x because it's positive, right? Because 3x minus 3x, that goes away. So I get 7 equals 7 minus 3 is 4x minus 5. Next thing is to get that x alone. Here we go. Instead of subtracting 5, I'm going to add 5 because those are inverses. So I get 0. So I now have 4x equals 12, and that works out very, very nicely. We're simply going to divide by 4. Why am I doing that? Because 4 times x, they're being multiplied right here. So I'm going to divide, so x turns out to be 3. Okay, so very similar. Once we get to this step right here, it's just like what we were doing with our equations. All right, let's try it again. All right, I do have some generic steps on the side. Move the variable to one side. See, it's generic. You can go either way with this. So as I look at it, I got 3r and 5r. So for me, I'm trying to keep things positive. So subtract 3r. If you want to go the other way, you can. So on the left-hand side, all that I have left is 5. 5r minus 3r is 2r minus 19. Next step, how do I get minus 19 the other side? I'm going to add 19. They are inverses, so I'll get rid of that. So 2r equals 24. And how are we going to get rid of that 2? All right, we're going to divide by 2 again. Awesome. R turns out to be 12. All right, then we get our solution and we can check it. All right, got another one lined up here. Notice I have some different signs this time. So again, trying to stay positive, I'm probably going to add 8y to the side. So I get negative 15 plus 14 with a y equals 13, as 8y and negative 8y cancel each other out. To get rid of minus 15, this minus is just hanging out here. So I'm going to add 15 to both sides. So I now have 14y is going to be equal to 28. And at first you're like, oh no, this is going to be terrible. But check it out. We divide, that's a big old 2. The idea is the same for all of these problems. We'll take a look at this one in class. Okay, we want to talk about what properties are being used. Okay, not just the steps, what properties. Okay, real quick, trying to get this one in this video as well. Keeping it nice and short for you. If I have fractions, if they have a common denominator, just roll with it if you want to. But I'm going to encourage you as we work on things this year to find out what that common denominator would be, 3, and just distribute that 3 to everything in here, every single term. So 3 times 2/3 is 2v, minus 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 6 is 18 again, and minus 3 times 2/3 is just 2v. It looks like everything's going to cancel out, but the signs are completely opposite. So it's actually going to be a little bit more work than that. 2v and negative 2v, I'm going to add 2v. So I have 4v equal 4v minus 18 equals 18. I'm going to have to add this 18 over. Why did I do that? Because I want to get the variable by itself. Okay, I'm going to add 18 and 18 to get 36. I'm going to divide it by 4. Okay, so v turns out to be, well, half of 36 is 18, half of that is 9. So v turns out to be 9. Okay, so that's our first one with fractions. I got one more for you today. Again, I'm trying to look at how can I get rid of all these things. So my common denominator would have to be 8. So I'm going to multiply by 8. Okay, last time things just kind of disappeared, but what is half of 8? Well, that's 4 minus, now this 8 with this 8, they're just going to cancel out, right? Otherwise, I'd have 40 divided by 8, which is 5x. Now I have 8 times 7 and divided by 8. So I'm just going to get rid of those 8s just like I did here. So it's 7x and 8 times 7. I don't really want to do that. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 7 is 28. Right. Now which way do I want to move the variables? I'm probably going to add the 5x. So I have 4 equals 12x plus 28. What should we do next? Bingo, right? We're going to subtract 28. So I have 12x equals negative 24. And our last step to take on this one is divided by 12. X turns out to be negative 2. That's two-step equations.